What's up, y'all? Chris. Here to give a couple of predictions for this upcoming UFC Fight Night Boston card. Only really interested in the main event and the co-main event of the night. I mean, I'm going to watch all the fights, or most of them, but the only ones I really feel like talking about are the co-main event and the main event. Co-main event, of course, Donald Cowboy Cerrone taking on Benson Henderson. Was really supposed to be Ben Henderson against Eddie Alvarez, but unfortunately, Eddie Alvarez got hurt. Well, unfortunately, depending on how this fight plays out or which fight you look more forward to. This fight, of course, is the third fight trilogy between these two. First fight, one of the best fights of all time, in my opinion, in MMA history, I guess you would say, in my opinion. Henderson won a controversial decision, a fight that I thought Cerrone deserved to win, but Henderson got the decision. Big surprise, Henderson got a close decision. And in the rematch, unfortunately, I saw the fight live. I was actually at it. Cowboy lost via guillotine in the first round. That said, I'm not for sure, aside from the fact that the guys are familiar with one another, that either of those results will really play much of a factor in this fight. What will, however, most likely play a factor is the fact that Donald Cerrone fought just 2 weeks prior to this fight. Fought Miles Jury in that one, got a decision win, got a win by decision in a fight that, he dominated, but didn't take a lot of damage in, but Jury just didn't really want to do anything after the first 2 rounds, was reluctant to engage. You gotta give Cowboy credit for taking this fight in such short notice. I mean, to do so against any opponent is pretty ballsy, let alone against Benson Henderson, a guy you're 0-2 against and is still one of the top lightweights in mixed martial arts. As for the matchup, obviously Cowboy has a ton of momentum, 6-fight win streak going into this fight, and I think Henderson's kind of leaning the other way. Although he's coming off a loss, he's coming off a loss to Dos Anjos, I believe. He just hasn't looked that good in recent fights. He had the win over Habilov, but he came from behind to do that. He had the win over Thompson, but that was a close fight that I just thought he lost. I sort of thought he deserved to lose the decision in. Of course, he had lost to Pettis. The Melendez fight, I thought he deserved to lose that decision as well. So I'm not so for sure if maybe Henderson isn't already past his peak. I'm not saying he is, but I'm not for sure. But once again, he does have the edge in this series 2-0 thus far. Should be a really good fight. It is only 3 rounds, though, not 5 rounds. So it might play a factor. Cowboy needs to get it done by stoppage, in my opinion. I don't know if he'll be able to or not, but he needs to. Because if this fight goes 3 rounds, I just think based on the styles, I think Ben Henderson might be able to get off to an early start. Plus, whenever they go to a decision, Ben Henderson fights, he seems to always get the nod in close fights. And I do think that this fight, if it does go to decision, will be a close one. So I could see him getting the nod in that way. So if it goes to decision, Henderson probably by split decision or something like that, majority decision. But maybe it's because I'm a big fan of the guy, but I'm going to go with Cowboy by stoppage. Why not? Henderson got knocked out in his last fight, even though he wasn't out at the end of the bout, but still, maybe Cowboy can get it done with those head kicks. As for the main event, I don't have a lot to say about it. Conor McGregor taking on Dennis Siver. Should be an easy win for Conor McGregor, in all honesty. This matchup seems to kind of just be set up Conor to get an impressive win and step up next, be a setup fight to a title fight against Jose Aldo. Bigger fighter is Conor. I would say he's probably the better striker. Definitely, I think he hits harder of the two. I think he probably, at least from what I've saw thus far, has the better chin of the two. He says he's going to get it done in 2 minutes or less. I don't know if I believe that or not. Not to say he can't. I don't know if he's going to or not, but I do think he's going to get an early stoppage win. Probably no later than the second round, if not in the first. We shall see. But definitely go with Conor McGregor all the way in this fight. I don't see, he could get caught. He could get knocked out. It could happen to anyone in MMA. But I don't see it happening in this fight, so give me Conor by stoppage. One thing I'm interested about, though, a lot of people, they either like Conor McGregor or they hate Conor McGregor. But I've seen a lot of people saying they hope he loses this fight. They hope Siver knocks him out. They hope he upsets him. Thing is, if you're not a fan of Conor McGregor, you just like the guy, wouldn't you rather see him win this fight and get a title shot and then lose to Jose Aldo? If you don't think he's that good, wouldn't you rather see him lose on the biggest stage to the best featherweight out there? I know if I wasn't a fan or if I didn't like the guy, that's the fight I'd rather see him in. Whether I liked him or not, I'd rather see him humbled by the best fighter out there in Jose Aldo. That's just my thoughts, though. Anyway, what are your guys' thoughts on these fights? The main event, the co-main event, Cerrone Henderson 3, and Siver versus McGregor. Siver versus Conor. Yeah, McGregor. Anyways, that's it for now. Link to run the picture as always. Till next time, I'm out.